It is, of course, time for our weekly COVID-19 segment where we unpack unfolding developments in the country and in the continent, actually, in light of recent initiatives to introduce mandatory vaccination requirements in our workspaces. The National Employers Association of South Africa is stepping in to defend employees. I think you may have heard in recent weeks that we're seeing, people being coerced to get their shots. Are you protected in this space? Well, the employer body joins me now to discuss the implications, and with me is Gerhard Papenfus. Please forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. You are with NEASA, and that is, of course, short for the National Employers Association of South Africa. Gerhard, on the 1st of February this year, President Cyril Ramaphosa stood in what we call now a family meeting, right, telling South Africans that nobody will be forced to get the jab. Is that as good as a figment of our imagination? Is that in the past?
Yeah, I think so. Well, so far they're not forcing somebody to do that, but they are indeed making it difficult, putting you in front of the choice to either getting the jab, and this is what's happening, or lose your job. That is what's happening may happen in the workplace, and certain employers are latching onto this room, this space given to them, and we think it's wrong. Our position is we had to come out and tell business, which we represent, that we advise you not to do that.
And I'm very interested in that because, there's no law currently saying people should be fired or can be fired for not getting the jab. What is the general sentiment among the people that you represent?
I don't think there's... NEASA represent thousands of businesses. But I don't get it that there's a sense that... my experience at the moment is not that large numbers of these employers are actually doing it, moving in that direction. But, since Discovery has come out and to say they want to do it, we just come out and say, we did suggest you don't do it. What we actually say is to employers, don't even think about it. I think it's morally wrong, but it's also dangerous in law. Our legal opinion, which we put out earlier this week, I think would make out a very good case that employers will eventually find themselves in hot water if they do that. Now, here's the danger: you can dismiss an employee now for in circumstances where you think you've done enough, and then a year later you lose in court. And the matter might go right up to the Constitutional Court, and you don't want to lose then. If you've fired 10 of your 100 employees or 500 of your 10,000 employees, and you lose in court eventually, you'll find yourself in extremely difficult circumstances. So we say, accommodate your employees. As far as possible, and I think you can find a way to accommodate each and every employee in the circumstances. And that is our advice, and that's our instruction to our legal advisors in the field, that this is how they need to approach this matter.
Yeah, I must say that there is no, legal basis currently, or any, precedent-setting data, to say that people might be held accountable or not in the, in the situation where they don't encourage or accept people that are not vaccinated. But I want to know from you. You say we need to accommodate everyone, and it's very much in line with what the Labour Department has recently said about, finding a middle ground. But is that possible in a situation like this? I feel that the matter here is black and white. It's either you are vaccinated or you are not, and there should be, some sort of aftermath if you are not. Well,
first of all, the Constitution makes provision for bodily integrity and freedom of opinion and belief, and so that's already in the Constitution. Now, you can make an exception. You can in a case where there's a law of general application, then you can say, okay, that overrules what's in the Constitution, but this is not a law of general application because there's exceptions. So I think you might find yourself eventually in hot water, and I know there are different legal opinions, but that's our legal opinion, and this is how we advise business.
Right.
And you know what, but there's also another argument, and this is not an argument for or against vaccines. It is respecting the right of an individual to make a decision. Right. And in terms of something affecting something very personal. If a company going down this line might find himself eventually in a position where he severely damaged the relationship in his business, the relationship between employees, the spirit in the business, and once you've lost that, you've lost your business. You don't recover from that. And I think the sooner business comes out and say, listen, this is our view, we want to accommodate, you can encourage. If you feel strongly that people must be vaccinated, well, give them the info, encourage them, but I think that's how far you can go. And if there's a problem, accommodate, and I think you can. There's, I don't want to open this thing. There's an employer, this particular employee, and I mean, we look after the influence of business, and it's exactly what we're doing. This particular employee, it's come under my attention, is now confronted by an employer stating that he wants her to be vaccinated. But she's working from home for the last 20 months. Now, what is his argument? How will he get around it?
Gerhard, I want us to continue with this conversation. It's an important one, and I think we need to speak about, the scientific facts when we make recommendations to either employers or employees. I'd be very interested to hear about that. But in literally 10 seconds or 20 seconds, Gerhard, just please quickly explain or tell us what you are recommending if people do not get a jab in order to protect themselves. What can businesses do to protect employees who do not get a jab?
Well, there's already in the regulations the mask wearing, the screening, the sanitizing, the working or the social distancing, working in shifts, people working from home. All these things is there, and if a person doesn't want to get the jab, all these potential facilities, if you can call it that, is still available. So it's there. It's been used now. So we'll continue then to use it.
Whether that's sustainable in an economy like ours, it's yet to be seen, right? Thank you so much for your time, Gerhard Papenfus. You are the NEASA CE. Papenfus. The NEASA CEO. Thank you so much. NEASA is, of course, the National Employers Association of South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us, Godfrey.